Hey Tenno, this is Mako and we're going to go into Mesa. So my Mesa build is a little unconventional. Number one, I'm using Laceria, which is the Mios' little brother. And with the Telesacabolto for viral and radiation. Why? Because it helps out with killing enemies quickly. Soma Prime or the Supra or even the Sancti Tigris, Heck, Vacor Heck, whatever you want to go with. Now, this build revolves around the Shadow Shield, with duration and efficiency being the key. Why? Because just a little intensified buff, if you look at the stats, is going to give you about 95% damage reduction via Shadow Shield. You really don't care about your damage capability for your fourth. After her big nerf, and yes, I'm one of those people who do feel it is a nerf, the fourth power has become very ineffective. Before I could use her and nuke an entire map. It was a press 4 to win Warframe. Now, I built mine with the concept of being a tank, and you'll see what I mean by that. So cast your second and third, which jams the weapons of the enemies, which are like the Grineer here, and the third will basically reflect bullets back at them, and if it does, it has a 50% chance to stagger them. So basically, you've converted Mesa into a CC capable Warframe, which is what you want. Endgame wise, anything that CCs, which is crowd controlling, will stop the enemy. If you can stop the enemy, you can do damage. Now, if you're using the first power, please note the amount of damage you can do, buffing up with the Supra or the Soma. You can just easily tear through enemies really quickly with it. And now I'm getting a little damage. And that's because I wasn't keeping track of my powers. Remember, on most Warframes in Endgame, you want to keep track of your powers. And again, Life Strike will be the big save here. Now here's a glitch you'll notice with the Laceria. I drew it, but the whip did not come out, and so it's not doing the whip based damage, which is like a huge range. This happens every now and then, but to remedy this situation, you basically sheath it, then redraw it as such. Now, why do I think the Laceria is such a good weapon for her? Well, with Steel Charge, it's already doing a lot of heavy damage, but please note how fast that crit multiplier hits and how much the basic damage multiplier is up. I was at 2.5 there in a couple of seconds. Nope, still at 2.5. Now I'm at 1.5, now I'm at 2. It buffs up really quickly. And if you've got the Shadow Depth mods, which just keep that all day, you can start doing some heavy damage. Especially if you've got the one where you do a slide and gives you 95% critical. Making this Berserker outdoes the Mios completely in terms of damage with those mods, but even with that, on console, I'm doing pretty good, I think. You know? Take it as you will, but that's why I use the Laceria. Just quickly shred through enemies. Now, the second and third powers are your main CC. Why? Because your second power also gives you a damage buff for your, weapons, such as your primary or secondary. I like the Laceria because if enemies further away, I can hit them with the whip end and get a bunch of HP back. Is that everybody? Well, oh no, I think I hear somebody off in the corner. Now let's go take that enemy out. Now, I'll also demonstrate the Laceria's damage, so watch as it starts to, pile up here really quick. Yeah, this takes about that long to shred through a 75. For some reason in the simulation area here, when you have 20 enemies of this type, it gets really laggy. So that's you amplifying the first power, or amplified by the first power I should say. Basically within a few seconds of just hitting with this, you'll have this up to 100 and you can just keep spam blasting it. That's why I tend to run it with the Soma or the Supra. Soma for critting, Supra for just damage and stat. And magnetic AoE. The fourth power here I find pretty flippin' useless. Before, you could just stand here and just click the trigger and hit everybody. Now that's press 4 to win type Warframe. Now what you do is you spin this in a circle, and while you're aiming in a circle like this, you fire. The downside of that is every time you fire, that little radius goes down, which kind of sucks. So until that's fixed, Tenno, I use her as a tank. I hope this helps. See y'all later.